Hi. So today we're just going to be reviewing more dimensional analysis, conversion practice stuff. So what I was planning on doing, you need to be working on this assignment, and I'm just going to plan on going through a couple examples with you. I'm going to do two of them, and just as a way of just refreshing it for you, and then saying like, okay, go to work and get this done. So I want to do example one first. So we're starting out, we've got 14 meters, and we're going to convert to centimeters. And remember, when you do this, whenever you do any of this stuff, you need to show your work. Always show your work. And then when you are going to be submitting stuff like this from now on, you again must have your name and the date written in so that it's visible in all your submissions. Now, to submit this, or sorry, to start this, you're going to look and say, okay, you've got 14 meters, you're going to convert to centimeters. You start, I'll just write it here, we've got 14 meters, centimeters. Now again, this should not be any trouble to get to this point in time. You should be able to, to be able to say, okay, whatever I start with, I'm going to put there, whatever I want to go to, I'm going to put there. Remember, you just diagonally, whatever you go, just diagonally copy it down there. Now again, the one thing I want to make sure nobody is confused about on this is that when you see the M like that, so when you see milli like this, a lot of people think that that's just an M. Again, that is not. M by itself is the base unit of meter, so please remember that. And then you're going to convert from meter to centimeter. So centi is right here. So basically we're going meter to centimeter. So simplest solution again in terms of doing this is just so you don't have to worry about up or down. It's just simply saying, all right, what's larger in terms of the prefixes? If you had one of each, what's bigger? It's meter. So we're going to put one for the meters there. Remember that this is big over here. This is small. Don't forget that. Now we want to know how much, like, what's the conversion for converting from meters to centimeters. So to do that, you're going to go from meters to centimeters, and the beauty of this system is that it doesn't matter which way you're going. It doesn't matter. In this case, you're going from centimeters to meters, but you just care about how many jumps there are between the two units. So there's 1, 2, because you're going to go from the base to deci to centi. So that is 10 times 10. Each jump is 10. So that's 10 times 10, so that's 100. Or if you wanted to write it as 10 to the second, that would be correct also. So you're going to get your answer. You do 14 times 100. Make sure you cancel out your meters. You're left with centimeters. So your answer would be 1400 centimeters. And you would need to include, again, all of this, everything there, to get full credit. If you don't include your units, it doesn't count. So there's that. Example 1. Now let's do a different one. Let's find a good one. Oh yeah, we'll talk about 6 for a minute here. So now let's do 3. Why not? It's pretty simple. So let's do 3. So we're going to convert 1,000 centimeters. We're going to convert that to meters. So we're just doing the reverse of our previous conversion. So we'll do centimeters, meters. Now again, in this case, so even though meters is on top now instead of on the bottom, again, we're just saying which one's bigger. So we know meters is the larger prefix, so we'll put a 1 there. And we know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. We know that because we do 2 jumps. It's 100 centimeters, 10 times 10. So if you do 2 jumps again, 1, 2, 1, 2. And what this means, like sort of the point of all this, is that, what this means is that it's 100 centimeters. It's equal to 1 meter. These are equal. Remember, we're not changing the initial physical object. We're simply changing how we note it. We're just changing the unit by which we're measuring it. But it doesn't change, if I have a meter stick and I say, oh, it's 1 meter. Well, if I could also say it's 100 centimeters or it's 1,000 millimeters. But it doesn't matter. The stick is the same length, no matter no matter how you describe it. Physically, it's still the same length. So keep that in mind. So you're going to cancel these out, and you'll just do 100. You'll do 1,000 divided by 100, and you're left with the fact that that is 10 meters. All right. So you're going to multiply, and if you need to see the algebra here, or just like the math, because some people still, they get a little confused. This is the same thing as saying 1,000 times 1 divided by 100. That's that and that mathematically, they're the same thing. And then the only other thing I want to talk about, just really briefly, is number 6. You'll see that number 6 gives you milliliters and cubic centimeters. Now, I know some of you are going to look at that and be like, wow, I don't like that. I don't know what that is. I don't like that. I don't like that there's an exponent there. And that's okay. Volume, I'm going to give you the simple conversion, but just as a little background, volume, like milliliters, is, milliliters is it's a measure of volume, and volume is how much space something takes up. If you think about how you take the area, how you find the area of something, area is length times width. It's 2 dimensions. Volume is length times width times height. If you have like a box or a cube or something, so it's 3 dimensions. Volume measures in 3 dimensions. Well, 3 dimensions, that's why it would be cubed in this case. So this is the volume of something in cubic centimeters. In simple version, there's an easy conversion. 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter. All right. So let's say, I'm not going to do this example problem for you, but let's do a random other one. Let's say you have 63 milliliters and you want to convert that to cubic centimeters. So this is example, random. So all you'll do is this, 63 milliliters. The process doesn't change. You put milliliters down here, centimeters cubed up there. Now, in this case, there isn't one that's bigger or smaller. We've established a milliliter is equal to a cubic centimeter. They're the same thing. So you just put 1 and 1. You're not doing anything to it. You cancel out your milliliter. And again, that 1 to 1 comes directly from here. They're equal. So basically all you're saying is like, oh, it's 63 cubic centimeters instead of 63 milliliters. It means the same thing. In like cubic centimeters, you hear that in a lot of places. Most commonly, if you ever watch one of those doctor shows, if you ever watch like House or ER or Grey's Anatomy or whatever, The Good Doctor, I don't know, whatever other TV shows there are with doctors, since that's like half of television nowadays, and you watch it and they're like, all right, hey, give this patient 60 cc's of something, or give this person 20 cc's of this, and it's like, that's cubic centimeters. Just so you know, the cc stands for cubic centimeter, which is the same thing as milliliters. I don't think anybody's getting anyway 60 cc's in, but like, you get the idea. So when Dr. House, I don't know if people watch House anymore. I feel like that might have been more my time, but I think Grey's Anatomy is still on, right? Some of you still watch that probably. And like if the one doctor is like, hey, give this person 5 cc's, they just simply are saying give them 5 cubic centimeters or 5 milliliters of something. We don't need to get into my thoughts on Grey's Anatomy. So, all right. If you have any questions, of course, email me and I will help you. That's that.